Hey, ladies, give me a minute. I can't fix my name.
Hey, ladies! Wait, I gotta fix.
What is okay? I'm straight.
Hello, everybody.
Come
We
on.
are on live. I can see us on Facebook. So listen, ladies, if you are tuning in now, make sure you share this live. Make sure you start a watch party and do all of that. You have to go to our Winning Women Facebook page, or you could go to Lifeline Chicago main campus Facebook page and start a watch party. Get your girls. Listen, fellas, I'm just going to put a disclaimer out there, okay? This is a girl chat. And so with the girls chat, we talk about girly stuff. So you might not want to be on this here live. So if you got a woman, or I would say not a woman, if you got a wife, sit her in front of the computer and let her have some fun. Take the children, in the next room, take them in the basement or sit them in their room, take them to the bathroom, wherever you got to do, and just let your lady have some fun tonight, because that's what this night is all about. It's our very first Facebook Live Friday. So as we always do with our Winning Women events, Winning Women, make some noise. You can hear us, but we can't hear you. But type in some yays or some hallelujahs or some amens, just so we can know that you are here, okay? So during our chat, if you have any questions, you have some comments, make sure you text the word questions to 54244, and we will answer the questions that come in, okay? So we're gonna have some fun tonight. We're gonna have some fun. I am excited. Y'all excited?
Absolutely.
Ooh, I'm excited. So listen, my name is London, and I am the voice of reason. Let's see who else we have on this call.
Well, I am Ebony, and I am the life of the party.
I'm Shredda, and I'm the comedian.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, she is.
Yes.
I'm Yanni, and I'm the problem solver.
Get us together. Get it together.
Hey, ladies, I'm Tiffany, and I'm the strategist. I'm always turning lemons into lemonade.
All right, come on. We need that.
You got some lemons?
I love lemonade.
Hey, come on. I'm Kay, and I'm the emotional one. That's up and down, like all of the emotion. The be snapping and crying.
Yeah.
Too far.
That
We
is
just
the
get
truth.
started.
That is the truth.
Hey, women, I'm Serena and I'm the helper. So if you need something, I got you.
Oh,
See, you always need somebody that's gonna help. Come on.
absolutely.
Come on.
And I'm Brandy. I'm the silly one. So if you need a joke, usually a bad joke, but a joke, I got you.
If you check out her Facebook page, she got some jokes for you too. Is that everybody?
Is that all of us?
Is that all of us? Okay, we're missing one more. But yeah, if Brandy and Serena, if you could turn up your volume just a little bit more. We know you ladies are soft-spoken, but we want everybody to hear you on tonight.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, as we do with all of our Winning Women events, just because this is a virtual event doesn't mean that it's going to stop what we do, because we do what we do when we do it. So yep. I need for Yanni and Sharetta to take it from here. All right.
Hey, so you know what time it is. It's selfie time.
It's selfie time. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What is that like virtually, Yanni?
So what we're going to do is, see, we identified ourselves as who we are as winning women. Now it's your turn to do the same thing. Now label yourself, take a selfie, and put it in, if you can, our chat, if not on our Facebook page, by hashtagging WW Girl Chat.
Go on and get you a good one.
Again, WW Girl Chat. Let me take
oh,
I know, right? Let me make sure I get a good angle.
Listen, ladies, we want you to have on your Winning Women t-shirt. So take about 5 minutes, go find you a t-shirt. And when you find that t-shirt, put it on and then take a picture of the screen with you. Do one of these numbers like this.
Why everybody got to tilt their head to the side though? That's my question.
Angles. See, I don't know nothing about angles. I don't really know nothing about this phone either, but I'm doing
always go up for angles.
Is that what it slims you out?
Yes, child. Yes.
You need slimming even when you're sitting.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh.
You got to get your back up.
Yes.
Hello.
Chin up. Make sure your chin is up.
Oh.
Feet flat to the floor.
I don't like my chin up. I like my chin down.
Because it smushes. It smushes.
It smushes.
Got to elongate it.
Oh.
Bring it out. You got to see that.
Swan neck.
not the swan neck.
Ladies, we're going to give you a couple more minutes to do this. Take your selfie in your Winning Women t-shirt and then take a selfie with the screen that you're looking from. Now, if you're looking from your phone, I don't know how that'll work. If you're looking at the screen from your phone and you're taking a selfie, figure it out. But Yanni, tell them again what to do with that picture.
Basically, you would go to any of our social media platforms, our Instagram or our Facebook page, and or you could just put it on your news feed by hashtagging WW Girl Chat or WW Winning Women. That ain't the hashtag. It's
That's it, girl. That's it.
She's the problem solver. She's gonna give you the right answer.
It is. LC Winning Women.
There you go.
Come on, I got it.
Come on.
Hashtagging WW Girl Chat.
Okay. All right. So ladies, let's see where we at. We want some shout outs just to know that you are watching here with us. We're gonna get started in maybe like I say a minute and a half. And when I say a minute and a half, I got the life of the party that will let me know when a minute and a half is.
You better know
it. So we'll give you a minute and a half. So come on in, share this live, start a watch party, tell your girlfriends, say, hey, Winning Women, they're on Facebook. We're on Lifeline website. We're on the mobile app. We're on YouTube. We're on a plethora of social media platforms. So you will not plethora. Come on. I've been reading the dictionary during these 6 weeks. No, I haven't. That's a good good idea though. Read the dictionary and see how far you get. Okay, but
Learn a new word a day.
Learn a new word a day. It ain't gonna keep the doctor away, but it'll keep you smart.
Come out of this quarantine just using all type of words. I'm like, girl,
Come on. You got to learn something from this quarantine.
Listen.
You got to come out better than when you came in. Come on.
Oh yes,
true.
Better than when you came in. Well, listen, my minute and a half is up. Is that right, Ebony?
That is correct.
Okay, so we're about to start this here girl chat, okay? And let's see, April, are you able to come on with the video? We can't see your face. You the missing piece here. One of the missing
having
pieces.
some technical difficulties with her video.
Okay, so when you come on, we'll let you tell who you are, okay? Missy, I'm not gonna tell who you are, but we'll let you tell you are. But during these last 6 weeks, 6 weeks ago, we had an event. We had our pajama party. And it was off the chain.
Yes,
and listen, 6 weeks later, we are still in the house. But listen, because we're in the house and quarantine does not mean that we can't take care of ourselves, ladies. It doesn't mean that we can't, do what we need to do. Now, I'm going to make another disclaimer because we've been on here about 6 minutes, but if men are watching, we're about to talk about some girl stuff. So, if you start blushing, at your computer, it's your fault because I told you to get off the live. But,
yes, you did.
So, huh?
Told him to get on out of here.
I told him to get on up out of here. This is why I'm telling him to get on up out of here. Because there has been a debate, okay? There's been a serious debate during this quarantine for ladies. And so we have had this debate as girls, as our team here, Win and Women team. And so we want to kind of bring you ladies in on this kind of debate. It's a very serious debate.
Wendy, stop laughing.
Right, I'm really saying it's serious and they laughing. I can't make it serious.
Okay.
But this is it. To wear or not to wear a bra, that is the question.
That is the question.
To wear or not to wear a bra during this quarantine time, that is the question. So ladies, what y'all think?
Where do you stand? Who said absolutely? Serena, you said absolutely? Come on!
No.
Muscle memory!
I did.
Muscle memory? What is muscle memory?
No. Muscle memory is reminding your body of the positions it is supposed to stay in. If we walk around this quarantine without wearing a bra all the time, listen here, we didn't already had life happen to us. We might have some babies, weight went up, weight went down. We don't need no extra help in not having the full oomph that we desire as women.
The full what?
No. The full oomph that we desire.
Is that a lift?
That's the word. The lift that we desire. And if we're doing all this eating, we're snacking and all of this stuff, everybody's not working out. We mess around and not wear these bras, and then you go to put one on to go do something. You can't snap that sucker clothes, or it's too tight, leaving them marks in your back. Anybody got time for that?
But that's why they have multiple settings, right? You can expand it.
Come on, thank you. Voice of reason. You can expand yourself right on out of expanding.
Run out of hooks.
No.
No, there's no need for you to be just wasting laundry.
That is a good one. Gravity is always at work.
Down.
Get us together, Yanni. Get us together.
Fletcher said on this chat.
That's why you
always at work.
No, this is why you have angles. If you lean in the right way, you good. Your work.
So what's gonna be your angle when you walk out the house?
Listen,
by mistake. When you gotta go run and make an errand real quick.
I'm gonna wear a hoodie. I'm gonna wear a hoodie and a wrap.
She's gonna layer. She's gonna layer it up. Mm-hmm. Or put some tape. Put some tape at the nipples so you can't see the nipples.
I'm gonna do a wrap situation. Yes.
Don't let somebody start chasing you.
gotta be running. I'm not gonna be running. It's the scripture that says, "Thou shalt not run." Come on.
Walk
That's
and
the
not
word.
be weary.
Come
It says
on.
stand, therefore, right? You gotta stand, stay in place.
Y'all gonna make me find it. It's a scripture that says, "Thou shalt not the wicked run." I'm not wicked. I will not run. Absolutely not.
Listen,
Okay,
we
so
got
probably look it
scripture
up,
on
too.
this thing. You gonna look it up?
I'm looking it up.
We got scripture on this
I'm
thing here.
Well, let's just hope the wicked not running after you.
Listen, one of the ladies said freedom
Already
is her
watching
portion.
and
That's what I'm talking about.
now
That's what I'm talking about.
and
She said, I'm free. I'm free. No more bondage. No more bras holding me down. I'm free.
Come on and read.
I am free.
Come on and sing it for the people.
Praise the Lord. I'm free. No longer bound by this bride. No more chains holding me. My tatas are resting. It's such a blessing.
Oh, Lord. Serena, will you please tell them we're not saying wear the bra all day, but put it on for a time period and then take it off. We're not
For
saying
like 10 minutes.
No,
Nah,
come on.
that's not good.
That's not muscle memory.
She say 10 minutes. 10 minutes gonna make that muscle memory know.
No.
Proverbs 28, baby. The wicked run when no one is chasing them. I'm not running.
We always got a word on it, okay?
I agree.
Do we have some more comments on any of our social media about this whole bra thing?
They're agreeing with the no bra wearers.
See, but it's also, it looks like it depends on the proportion too. Because I see somebody saying that on behalf of the small chest people, they're like, no bra. But I mean, everybody can do that.
If your cup runneth over,
everybody can do that.
Then you better strap on the bra if your cup runneth over.
Strap.
Tell them, Tiffany. Tell them.
That sounds like bondage.
Yeah.
Strap.
That's why the girl said she's free. I had to do a rendition of I Am Free, really.
Consuela said the husbands like it.
See, there you go.
What I'm talking about, easy access. But okay, for the single ladies,
Put them up. Put them up. Put them up.
put them up. Put them up so your husband can like it later, right? Be dragging. I don't know.
What's happening? Again, we made a left turn. What is it?
Muscle memory.
This is what we do as girls. You know, ladies, you know, as you're watching, you know, when you get with your girls, you get silly and all of this. And just because you can't be with them physically, don't mean you can't get silly with them virtually. So, you know, this is what we're doing. We're taking this situation, we're making fun of this, because I know 6 weeks sometimes there has not been a lot of fun. You know, I've seen like I've been cooking more than I've cooked in the past 25 years. And that I never cooked, but like every day, you know, I was going to the restaurants. I don't know about y'all, but I was going to the restaurants and all this. But what I did say when this quarantine started, I spoke the word and I said, I will not gain weight. And do you hear me? I have lost a couple pounds.
Well, come on here.
But you know why? Because I'm not eating out all the time. Now, I'm making fries here at home and doing all that stuff. But I think that fast food, I mean, we have had a couple things, you know, we've had pizza and different stuff like that. But the majority of the time we spend here cooking at home, and that makes a big difference. That makes a big difference. Have y'all seen the difference in that?
It does. I save money, but I ain't lost no weight, daughter.
You just ain't checking your scale, daughter.
No, I don't. Because the scale works for the enemy's camp.
The scale is not your friend, huh?
If I
Listen,
have me in the house and feeling bad.
I get on the scale with nothing on so I can get my true weight. Because when you have on your panties and bras, that add a couple of ounces. I don't want nothing else.
Need that bra.
You don't
need that bra. It's weighing you down.
It's adding pounds.
Boom. I take off my bra, lose a whole pound. Look at God.
I hope your bra don't weigh a pound.
Wait, I was gonna say your bra weigh that much?
Let me live in my truth. Let me live in my truth. It's my truth. My scale, my truth. All right.
Listen, we were on a call last night, ladies, and I was gonna do like I forgot, I don't know if it was some lady on the news, I ain't gonna even say her name. It was something about no bra day. And on national TV, she took off her bra. And I said, no, I'm not gonna do that today. I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, she did that on national TV. And then she was a little bit, I think she was a little, not nervous, but she was a little embarrassed because she was covering herself. But when you're at home during this quarantine, you don't have to be embarrassed. You ain't even gotta cover yourself. You can just let it all hang out. You can be free.
Let go and let flow.
Let go, let it flow. And let God. Now, if you're going out to work, I would say wear a bra.
Oh, you bet.
I would say wear a bra. Or if you're going to be seen on camera, like my shot, you can't see me you see me just neck up. It's all in placement. So you can have on nothing on under this shirt or nothing on the bottom. Nobody will know.
Nobody.
Until you get up to go.
You forget.
You be like, oh, I ain't got no pants either.
And those videos have been going around when folks are on those work conference calls and they end them, but they haven't turned off the video. You stand up and see everybody's business. So you don't want to be standing up and swinging low. I think you should just go put the bra on.
Yeah. Well, hey. I say I'll put the bra on for the calls, for the Zoom calls, but I'll leave it, take it off soon after. Gotta cover yourself. Gotta cover yourself.
No bra.
Then if you're working out, you definitely need to put a bra on because you're gonna knock yourself out.
That's if you doing all that jumping around.
And you're gonna hurt yourself too, because that's some pounds right there.
It's a weapon.
Going up and down, it's a weapon. But listen, married women, it's a good weapon. It's a good weapon. You put them in front of him. Come on, that's a weapon. You get what you want when you want it. Come on now. I'm just trying to let you know.
And also, so you also get some extras too.
See, come on.
Look, April done jumped on here. She ready.
She ready.
Yes, I have some extras. Yes. You let those kids use that computer and you get it back and nothing works.
You got to safeguard yourself. That's why, ladies, even during this quarantine, we have to have things just for us. I know you're at home with your husbands, if you're not, you don't have a husband, you maybe have children. You're at home with somebody besides yourself, and it's all about them. But listen, if you don't take care of you, you can't take care of anybody else. So ladies, let's talk about how we can take care of ourselves as women. So first and foremost, I want to start with Kay, our life coach and the emotional one. I want to start with her and just kind of help us with what we can do as women to take care of ourselves emotionally, mentally during this time.
So during this time, everybody always has all these things that they tell you to do. And so my advice to you is to do the thing that you need. Because I can tell you what works for me and you can go and you be like, girl, I sat and I drank tea and I'm still mad or I'm still sad or whatever those feelings are that you're having. And so take this time to figure out what it is that makes you feel a sense of peace, a sense of, okay, even though things are upside down in the world, I'm okay right now. And so I know a big thing is we're kind of all experiencing a loss. And I've talked about this before, we're all experiencing a loss. And so you you never want to like put yourself out there, because as women, we're always like, oh no, I'm fine. And we're always taking care of everybody else, but we're all experiencing loss right now and we don't take care of ourselves and we're always pushing our stuff to the side. So the one thing I want you to remember is that when you get on a plane, this is like the best advice you get. Soon as you get on a plane, you sit down and everything's good and everybody's snapped in and you ain't even taken off yet. And they say to you, put on your mask first before you can put on somebody else's. Mm-hmm. And as women, I think that is vitally important for us because we take care of everyone but us. And so if you put your mask on first, if you take care of you, if you make sure you're eating, you're sleeping, you're doing something that feeds your mental and gets you to a place of peace, then you can take care of everybody else. But if you're not sleeping and then you running around and the enemy chasing you, you know,
smacking yourself in the face.
Right. You literally are smacking yourself in the face and you don't progress. And then you find that you're out of energy. And the biggest thing we all know is that you can't pour from an empty cup. And so you can't do anything for anybody else if you're empty.
That's
true.
That's good. That's good.
Y'all want some more?
Give me some more. Give me everything you got.
Okay. So here's the thing that I want everybody to do. So as you're trying to figure out what your thing is, the thing that like helps you, gives you peace, you know, reading a book or whatever the thing is now during this time, because we're experiencing this loss. Number one, I want you to just accept the fact that we're experiencing loss. Honor your loss. Don't compare your loss to anyone else's. Mm-hmm. So don't say, well, you know what? I'm not going to even complain about that because, you know, we good. We fine over here. No. Honor whatever those feelings are, because if you don't honor them, guess what? They come up in another way. They come up in anger. They come up in other areas. And you've seen it. You've seen it where you go off on somebody and you like, I wasn't even really mad. I don't know what happened. And you can't explain it. And those are those times. So honor the losses that you have. Even, and I know some of the moms are experiencing this, like graduation is a huge thing right now. Yes. I know. And that's
don't
big.
make me cry.
Like, I know.
Get you a box of tissue, baby.
Yeah. And people are saying like, you know, but it's okay because we're going to be safe. And it's like, I still get to own the fact that I'm mourning the loss that we don't get to do that.
Yeah.
Mourning the loss that's not going to happen. Think about it. When you go to graduations, no matter what age, kindergarten to 8th grade, all of it, whenever you go to a graduation, even though we know this is a celebratory moment, what happens at every graduation? Mm-hmm. You cry. Because you're mourning the loss of knowing that there's a transition from this thing to the new thing. Wow. So own that and honor it. And that's what we do, but we do it in other areas and we don't really realize we're doing it. But at every graduation, think of I remember high school graduation and 8th grade graduation, like we were like bawling out of control. But we weren't sad. We were just sad for the fact that, oh my God, I'm going to miss my friend. But we were excited to move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
So honor those losses. Yeah. So like the moms that are experiencing that loss of, you know, your child not, or whatever this is going to look like for your kid, because we don't know. We still don't know. Meaning I understand schools are closed, but we don't know what they're going to end up getting at the end of this. But honor that. Own it, and don't say to your child, it's okay, baby, you still going. Honor it. Take that moment and let them have those feelings. You have your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kate, my question to you is like, so because you're talking about parents and children being at home, how do you talk with your children about going through this time? Because they have fun.
I think you have to deal with your child based on who your child is. And I think sometimes we always think that it has to be this really deep conversation. And sometimes your kid isn't even there. You're like, so if you ask your kid like, hey, are you good? And I check in and I'm like, hey, are you good? Like the big check-in today was the announcement that all Illinois schools are closed. Like it's done. And so I checked in today and I'm like, hey, how are you? And it's like, are you sure? And then, but I keep having the conversation, not necessarily about schools closing, but I keep the conversation going to see where they navigate to, instead of pushing them into feelings that they are not having.
May not have. That's a good point.
That's something I Justin told us before we even got it from Governor Pritzker. I don't know how he found it out, but he was like, yeah, Mom, they closing the schools down for the year. And I'm like, oh, wow. So we've been asking him and Jaden. They're doing e-learning, virtual learning, which is a new experience for them. But they are in the state of, for right now, like almost like they don't care. So it's for now, I don't know if it's affecting them really. They don't want to talk about it. But like you said, Kay, you don't want to push, you don't want to push them or whatever. But I think having that conversation with your children, finding out, even if they're not in the graduation stage, like mine, he's in 9th grade and then 7th grade. So even just maybe seeing their friends, can be an issue because they're used to every day they're with their friends and their teachers more than they are mainly with their parents and their family. So
absolutely.
I think maybe for me going on that level and say, hey, how do you feel that you can't see your friends? I know they have Snapchat and they have all these little things, social media, but it's different to touch and to see, your friends, So I think for me, talking on that angle, because it seems like as far as school is concerned, they're like, oh, whatever. But that could be on surface too.
Definitely.
So 7th and 9th grade, I don't know. So that's something parents, ladies, I know we're talking about taking care of ourselves and we started out that way, but your child is yourself in this moment. So you taking care of your children, making sure they're good is a good thing. So if you have children, make sure that you're talking to them, on their level, whatever level they are, whatever grade they're in, especially the ones that are being affected by graduation, even the ones graduating from high school, going to, college, and even the ones that are in college or even graduating from college. There's so many variables, so many things that are happening, and that could affect it does affect your household, but you want to make sure that your children are good too. Even when we're talking about self-care, you see how we get off into we're supposed to be talking about taking care of ourselves, and we get off on taking care of our children, but that's what we do as women.
It's an extension.
That's what we do as women, which is it's not a bad thing. Sharetta, you got something?
Yeah, even with having smaller children as well too, like we have little guys, and sometimes I think we get to thinking like, oh, they little, it'll be fine, they're not affected by that. But even just knowing like emotionally they may feel away, they may, they're used to going to the parks and doing different things and play, all of that stuff.
Got a routine.
And they don't anymore either. But even taking time to give them some extra cuddles, explaining that, hey, we can't go to the park right now, but we can do this, we can do that. Just kind of explaining and not just kind of pushing them into something else. Because I even noticed with my little guy, he's used to jamming and doing his thing. We go to the park, hey, we go to all the little play dates and all of that stuff, and he hasn't had an opportunity to do that. And I noticed a little change in him. So now I take the time to just kind of sit on the floor and give him some extra hugs, because I know he's sick of mommy. You know what I'm saying? But, you my girl, but I want my friends. It's funny. We on walks in the neighborhood, and he sees other kids, and he's running like, friends. I'm like, no, we can't hug them, buddy. I agree. Or something like that. But just even taking that time and explaining that, and even your circle of people that you're with as well too, your girlfriends, being able to talk to them to be like, girl, listen, I'm struggling right now. This e-learning is weighing me down. Me being in the house with these kids all day and working and everything, that's a lot to balance. Let's kind of share some tips and points to help each other out as well too.
Yeah. Can I share a suggestion?
We had that conversation today too.
You said you had that conversation today, April, with your children?
Yeah, we had this conversation with Alexander today because he doesn't like the e-learning bit of school. He's like in person, in the classroom type person. So he'd like to be around his friends. He'd like to be around his teacher. So when I told him that school was out for the rest of the season, he was like, he was very disappointed because he couldn't see his friends. He's like, well, I can't see so-and-so and I can't see this person. I said, Alexander, I get it, I understand it. So now we're trying to see how we can make some kind of adjustments in our house. No, you can't see him, but maybe we'll do a drive-by, that is really bothering him. He doesn't like the e-learning. So you have to have these conversations so you can see how they're feeling. So when they're having a bad day, you understand that the bad day is not coming from, you're not letting them do something, or, it's not something else that's going on with
it's
that.
not personal.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not directed at you. It's their feelings. And
exactly.
Absolutely.
Now there's a question. I'm looking at the When and Women Facebook page that ties directly into what we're talking about. She says, how do you have that conversation about not going back to school with the younger kids? So I'm assuming like the kids that are in elementary school, those are the younger ones, because middle school, I think like Jaden is in 7th grade, so he's in middle school, so he kind of knows, and I guess he's understanding. But what about the younger kids? How would you have that conversation with them about not going back to school?
Well, I would be honest with them and just let them know, hey, this is something that's going on in the world right now. We want to keep you safe, and in order to keep you safe, you have to be at home with us. So while we're at home, these are the things that we can do. So I think sometimes we really get caught in shielding our children from stuff, and I'm not saying that it's just everything, but I mean, right now everything is just kind of happening in the world. You explain to them like, hey, this disease is taking people out, it's making people sick. It's, we want to keep the teachers safe, we want to keep you safe, so we're gonna stay at home. When they're smaller, just have that conversation with them, and I think they'll respect you for it. They may not understand ins and outs of it, and even telling them, if you have more questions, always come back to me and ask me.
And their questions will guide the conversation. That's the thing.
Yes, it will.
When you're talking to them, like you think like it needs to be so big, but it doesn't. You start talking to them and allow them to guide and navigate you through it, and you just answer their questions. And then you're like, then you kind of do a sigh of relief almost. You know what? Like, it wasn't that bad.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
And one thing I don't think we give our kids as much credit as they deserve. I think our kids are smarter at a younger age. They're smarter than what we give them credit for. So those conversations we make more difficult than what they really should be or what they really are, because our kids are smarter than what we give them credit for. We have to make sure that they, that we give them the opportunity to speak and talk and get their feelings out as well.
Yeah, just like what Kate was saying about honoring their feelings, and that goes for any age. Like, it definitely goes for older kids, but it goes for younger kids too. And it's important for them to start to recognize their feelings and start to understand that it's okay to have them, and just to kind of talk with them through it from an early age, because then they'll continue to build that, that assurance and that pride in owning their feelings, and not be able to share them as they get older.
And I think that's the difference between how we were raised. I say how I was raised, than how we're raising our children now. Before, we just sit them down, shut up, stay in the child's place. And so now as adults, we're trying to grapple with these feelings that, we didn't, get through when we were younger. So I think like Serena, you have young children. So even if you're allowing them as young children to express their feelings, that will help them, as adults, be able to express their feelings and not just, go off at any point because it just built up, So I think that's a good thing too.
And one of the things was knowing that kids feed off of your energy, right?
Yes, they do.
Goodness.
So I've been in early childhood for like 20 years. So if you're a nervous wreck and you freaking out and you're like have high anxiety, your kids are going to be a replica of that. So if you're securing them, letting them know, hey, everything is going to be fine. This is what's happening right now. They're going to have that same calmness that you have. But if a lot of kids give you the same energy you give them.
That's true.
So just think about that.
Which is why it's important for you to take care of yourself as you're navigating taking care of them. So it does all tie together.
You need to spend like 10 minutes talking about them.
It ties together because you need to make sure you're taking care of you so that you're not at your wit's end when you're dealing with them and having these conversations. And so that means figuring out something that works for you. And so here's a tip that I'll give you as far as thinking of that thing, because each one of us has something different. Like I know Pastor Linda, you were saying reading books. And I'm like, oh my God, no. And Sharetta was like, I'll listen to the book. Like each one of us has our different way of what we need to get that peace. But when you are looking for that thing that works for you, ask yourself, so that Meaning, I want to read a book so that what? So that I can be like Pastor London, because she seemed like she real peaceful and she the voice of reason. No.
That ain't
So
it.
that what? Because if you ask yourself so that, it makes you realize why you're doing it, and it makes you come back to you instead of coming back to somebody else, or even trying to replicate somebody else's lifestyle so that you can get their life.
That's a good point.
That's good.
Now, I'm gonna stay right there, but before we get away from the children, there's another comment that I think some people,
And I have a suggestion too.
They can help. She says, we can use this time to expound on distractions also, because some children are doing better with e-learning versus classroom learning academically. So you get to, because children, and even not just children, but even like you mentioned with me and Sharetta, how our differences are. I like to read, she likes to listen. We all learn differently, but when we're stuck in the classroom, we're forced in the mold to all learn the same. So we get to figure out, hey, does e-learning work for our children? And I said, maybe before this year started, I was on this homeschool kick. I was like, I really want to homeschool the kids because Kay has homeschooled her children. I'm like, if she can do it, I can do it or whatever. But then I was like, well, I don't have that time to sit with them and make sure they're doing all their work. And now I'm kind of forced to do it. But I think having like I said, with them being forced into a classroom versus a e-learning environment, you can kind of tell how does my child learn? Does my child like to read, or does my child learn by listening? So it's never good to force anybody or force everybody into the same thing. Like Kay was saying, if I like to read books, you might not like to read books. So don't read a book because I like to read books, because you're not going to get the same result that I get. So looking at your life and going back. Kay, talk a little bit about, we talked about going back to birth. How can we do that? We always talk about this in marriage, going back to birth. But if you do this before you get married, oh my goodness. Tell us a little bit about that.
So going back to birth means you go back to that place that you were before anybody told you that you couldn't. So as you went through life, you navigated, somebody told you to sit down, somebody told you couldn't cry, somebody gave you all these things and you took them and carried them, right? And you just carried them. And so you navigated and morphed into the person that the world created, not the person that you were birthed to be. And so when things happen, and this is powerful, when things happen in your life that break you, it breaks you so that it takes you back to that core of who you are. So it's like building a house. When you go into a house, or when you have to flip a house, I know that's a big thing now. You go in and you take everything down to the studs, and then you look at the house for what it is and what it can do. And then you create the house that was there to be created, instead of, somebody done put this right here and covered up this because, that's what worked at their house and it worked for them. And so if you go back to birth and you deal with who you are and who you want to be, like the things that set your soul on fire, the things that got you as excited as a kid. Like, remember, as a kid, you dreamed. As a kid, you had hopes and you were like, I can do anything. One of the biggest quotes is like, I'm gonna act like a kid with Superman underwear on, like underoos, because Caden runs around with his cape. He is living his absolute best life. Because no one has told him that he can't. So he runs around and he believes he's flying, and he is the biggest superhero ever, because no one has told him that he can't. And so what happens is we have taken on all the stuff of the world, and we've taken on all the things that people said we can't do, and you shouldn't wear this and don't wear that because that shows you're so and so. And people have made us take on their insecurities about ourselves. And we can't continue to do that. So if you learn to kind of get back to that space, and it takes quiet time, and sometimes it takes being broken, and it takes your life being shattered. But if you get back to figuring out who you are and what you want and what fuels you and sets your soul on fire, then that's when you find your joy. And then that, like they say, the joy that you have, no one can take it. That's when you get that joy.
And that comes with Jeremiah 29:11. You can't do that without going to the person who made you. Jeremiah 29:11 says, I know what I'm doing. I have it all planned out, plans to prosper you and to give you a future and a hope. So when you're going back to birth, you have to rely on the Holy Spirit because he made us. He knows us. God knows us inside and out. He knows what he put in us. He knows what needs to come out of us. So going on this journey, you can never go on this journey on your own. You have to go back to birth with the person that made you before, who knew you before your mama even knew you.
The person that worked the directions for you.
But Pastor London, Pastor London, do me a favor, because when you say go back to birth, some of us know what that means. Some people on the line does not know. So we have people on YouTube, Facebook. Some people don't know what it means by going back to birth. Can you explain that to them a little bit more?
Kay just explained it to them. Going back to, like, see, when we talk about marriage, we talk about going back to birth and marriage. So where do you go back? Like for me, I'll say this. When I was younger, there were some traumatic things that happened in my life. And so now I have acted or I'm acting out of those things and I didn't know it. So when I got this concept, I learned this concept, I took it and I said, hey, let me go back as far as I can in my childhood to see what my earliest memories are. And where did that bad memory start? For me, where did that bad memory start? And did this bad memory start and it's a wave of things that have happened to me for the rest of my life or for the, until now? And I found out that it did. So I had to go back and resolve those issues and kind of even get healed from what happened to me at 3 and 4 years old. And sometimes you think you can't remember those things. And I believe for me, I block those things. You can block some things out and you can forget half of your life or a lot of your life because things have happened. But that doesn't mean that self-consciously or subconsciously, you're not living out of that. So when we say go back to birth, go back to your earliest memory. And that's for me in marriage. And what Kay was kind of, talking about, go back to that happy place when you were young. When I was young, I was a teenager, me and my cousin, we used to always say we're going to have a double wedding because we were cousins and we were like sisters. I don't know if she's on the line or not, but we were cousins, we were sisters, and we were going to do everything together because we just loved each other. I would go to her house, she would come to my house. I called her mom, she called my mom. We were just close knitted. And then things happened that changed that. So where was my happy place? And most people, even if you can't go back to 3 or 4, maybe your first or your earliest memory is 10. Maybe somebody told you, to shut up at 10 and that stopped your gift of gab or your gift for even, being a lawyer or being a debater, so that's what, when we talk about going back to birth, that's what we talk about.
Or they told you weren't pretty. Like a lot of us were told that we weren't pretty girls, right? And so then you're wondering why there are a lot of women walking around insecure is because no one ever poured beauty into you. No one ever said you're beautiful. You thought you were cute when you first looked at yourself, and then somebody came along and was like, you ain't cute.
Tore you down.
And so they said something that stuck with you, that carries you. And so what we've done throughout our lives is we built up these walls. Again, back to the house. We built up these walls, not that were functional walls. We just built up these dysfunctional walls to cover us from ever being hurt again or ever having that feeling of not being accepted. But if you can get back to that place where you remember where you thought you were the baddest chick ever, does that help? There you go. That place where you was like, I'm cute, right? Hey, y'all.
Kay, can I ask you a question? Hey, Kay. So is it good for us during this time to maybe take 5 or 10 minutes a day to kind of reflect on us and reflect on what this pandemic and being in the house means to us? What is God saying to us during this lockdown? What we can be doing to reset during this time?
I think you should always be having your quiet time and having your time with God. But again, for every person, that's different. And what that looks like is different. Like for me, I just lay in the bed and we just can talk and talk and talk. But for somebody else, like, They may need to listen to music. They may need to beat a face. You know, I mean, it's different for each person. And so you can't, my reflective moment, each of our reflective moments, if we talk
It's
about what
different.
reflection looks like for us, it's different. And so none of it will be the same, which is why I say to you, whatever you decide to do, and try some stuff. Listen, we're going to talk about lemons in a minute, baby. I got my lemon. We're going to talk about lemons.
That's an inside thing that's about to be an outside thing. Shortly.
Try some things. Here's the thing that we've never been given permission to do. We've never been given permission to pivot, to do something different, to quit. And we talked about this the other night. Like, if you're not a good cook, I can cook. Maybe I just need to order. And maybe I can be okay with that. But we are never taught that we can let something go and do something else. We will hold on to something until our fingers are bleeding because we've never been taught how to let go and do something different, how to pivot. So try some stuff. And if it doesn't work, do something else. Wrap it and do something different. And it doesn't make you a quitter. It means that you tried that and now you're more successful because you're going to try the next thing. Because eventually you're going to get there. Because if you never try anything, you never get anywhere.
Absolutely.
And
you know, because I've made jewelry, I've painted, I've took classes to learn how to sew. Girl, I ain't good at none of it, but I tried it.
Now you know, but now you know.
I know.
Nobody would have known. Nobody would have known you didn't do well with that until you told us.
Listen,
that's true.
Made a couple Gordon Gartrells, baby.
Right.
I got a couple of Gordon Gartrells.
Now,
So
we have
I was gonna say, Ebony, go ahead.
No, it's fine. Well, I just kind of saw something pop up, and it also came both ways. It said, "What advice do you give someone that's going through this alone? They have nobody. It's just them. But what do you give? What kind of advice do you give them?
Are you really alone though? Because right now we're all here together.
Yeah.
So alone is a choice. Now you can be in a room full of people and still feel alone.
Yes, you can.
Alone is a choice. And so I understand if you're saying you're in the house alone, I get it, but you still have the ability to connect if you decide to. Like whoever you are, you joined us tonight. So hey girl, you're not alone.
Right.
We're all in this together. And that's like real talk. You have to decide how you want things to look. You have to decide what narrative you're telling yourself in your head. If you are telling yourself, I'm alone, I'm by myself, and oh my God, if something happened, ain't nobody gonna know, then that's what plays out. But if you are in your head and you're going, girl, I'm about to get my best life together, or maybe I'm just about to sit around here, not wear no bra, not shower, just live my best life. Listen, listen. Ain't nobody else, they not gonna know. To make choices when you live by yourself, child. Listen.
Your house can smell a certain way when you live by yourself.
Ain't nobody that there's a judgment-free zone.
Oh yes.
Judgment-free.
Serena, you had something?
I was gonna say it kind of goes back to the whole comparing and competing thing too. Like we have to get to a place where we are content and where we are. And where God has us and understand where our place is. You know, we're each of us aren't made to do all of the same things. So like Sharetta was sharing, you know, what she's good at and what she's not good at. You know, like I can sew, I can cook, but then I can't do other stuff. So it's like we all have to be comfortable in our own skin and who God created us to be.
That's good. That's good. Now, when
Absolutely.
we talk,
and let me say this real quick. You know, she said she was alone. I'm sorry. She said she was alone, but you know, Kate, like Kate said, you're not really alone, because just like she tuned in, we need to call and check on each other. So when you're at home and you feel alone, call someone and check in on them and see how they're doing and have conversations with them. So you're not alone. You can call someone, check on them. They calling on you and checking on you. We have to work together. We're like Pastor always say, we are better together.
Together, yes, absolutely.
I want us to get to lemons, but I want to say this. We have to understand that we can say we need help.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We don't have to do it all. Yes, we have S's on our chest and we're the most amazing because we're women and that's our superpower. But in order for us to be the most amazing, we have to work together and we have to build each other up. And so where you're weak, I'm strong. Come on, we've all heard it.
Absolutely.
So if Sharetta can't sew and I can sew, then I can help her sew and then maybe she can cook me a meal, like however that's going to work out. Or Yanni can beat that face, but I can take those pictures. However that works out. That's village minded. So always know that you can call on people and say that you need help. You don't have to be so strong that you can't tell anybody you're having a weak moment and that you don't need anybody. We all need each other. That's go ahead.
I was gonna say that's how the devil gets his foot in. He wants us to feel isolated. He wants us to feel like we're alone. He wants us to feel like we have no one because then he can start playing in our mind. And he has a record that he plays over and over.
Oh my God.
So we have to stop that. The moment you feel that coming on, you stop. Pick up the phone, you call somebody. Yes, and you tell him, devil, you cannot have my mind, you cannot have my home, you cannot have nothing. I belong to a child of God and I'm going to use the tools that I have. You got to shake it off. And even if you're not that strong, just when you feel it, just pick up the phone and say, hey, I'm not strong enough to say these. I need help. That's it. You're not wrong for needing help. Everybody needs help. That's why it's not one person. It's a world full of people because we can't do this thing alone. We cannot.
And we're all different. We all bring something different to the table. Even on this team here, we all bring something different to the table and we all reach for one goal. Now, ladies, on all of our platforms, just kind of type in, is this helping you? Are you getting something from this girl chat? We never aim to do things in vain or without you in mind. So we want to make sure that you are getting something from this here chat. And we're not done yet. We were gonna do like an hour, but we are already almost at the hour mark, but we still have some great information to go. Okay. So we're gonna start with the next one. So we have our very own esthetician on the team. Okay.
Yes, we do.
She's an esthetician. She's the problem solver. So Yanni, during this time, what can we do to maintain our health, our skin, our beauty, and all of that as women? What can we do? Come on, shout out some tips and stuff for us.
Oh my God, so
get us together.
That you can do. Oh my God, first and foremost, the part of it. Our skin is the organ we have, right? It represents us every day, no matter what. So one thing I'll say about this, your environment first sets the tone on how your skin responds. If you're in a stressful environment, your skin will react. It just happens. It will react. You'll break out in bumps because you would start to eat more sugar a lot of times. You would have cravings for carbs. You will drink soda, caffeine, all these different things because you're trying to ease some of the stress that you may have, but you're doing it in a poor way of doing it. So in order for your body to turn over cells, you need to eat lively foods, more greens, drinking more water. Even like one of my things that I like to do is drink cucumber water or in making cucumber juice. It's a great skin booster. Y'all looking past one of the
I do that too.
Is that good?
It's good.
You have to train your body to like it.
Can I put a little peppermint in it or something?
Put peppermint. But it's an amazing skin booster. You can do green smoothies with celery and pears and stuff. It gives your body all the things. Okay, y'all looking at me like, ugh. But these are things you have to really train yourself to do. And what perfect time to do it now while you're in the house. So you're setting a new routine. You need to keep some type of normal routine to your day. Yes, you're quarantined and you living your best life, braless, pajama part. You're
Put them
doing
back.
Don't come for me.
some normalcy. So basically, get up every morning and wash your face. I know the trends out there is to use these wipes. Yes, they're good and really quick to do it, but it only gets the surface. It doesn't get down into your pores. So I have some tips what you can grab in your kitchen and do your very own facial at home.
Okay.
That's really good, right? So basically, with everybody, and I know I'm going to bust this myth right now. Don't put oil on your skin. Black people, we don't put oil on our skin. It's something about oil, we don't do it. I don't want to be greasy. I don't want to be.
Unless I'm fighting.
With it, believe it or not, if you really look at it, oil and water repel each other, right? Oil and oil attract. It deep cleans into your pores. So if you at home and you have some coconut oil, you have avocado oil, grapeseed oil, castor oil is really good. Extra virgin olive oil. If you have this in your very own kitchen, you can do an oil cleanse. Yes, an oil cleanse.
So you're talking about the same oil, the olive oil that I cook with, I can use that on my skin?
Yes, you can.
So Yanni, what about people who feel like their skin is too sensitive to put oil on it? What would you say about that?
Oh my God, that's the perfect skin to put it on.
Yeah.
Acne skin, especially. Oh my God, we got bumps, we can't put oil. No, that's the best because it deep cleanses your pores too, so it can breathe. So you can grab you some oil.
Okay, so Yanni, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So when I was pregnant, I used olive oil on my stomach, and I don't have any stretch marks. So is it good for me to use it on my whole body as like a lotion, as a substitute for lotion?
You can use olive oil on your whole body. It's anti-aging. It's full of antioxidants. So it helps with your skin. That's why you didn't have stretch marks, because it takes away
anti-aging.
I'm not gonna smell like chicken though.
You're not gonna smell.
Ain't got no seasoning.
Ain't no seasoning to your skin now. Well, she didn't say put
Don't use the grease from your chicken to put on your body.
She didn't say Crisco, she said olive oil.
So Yanni, what about Vaseline? Is Vaseline okay?
Oh, I'll tell you about Vaseline. Okay, yes, that's the old school women. They used to put Vaseline. They ready to fight, they lather it up, right? So Vaseline is very clogging to your skin. It will clog your pores. So if you're gonna use it very sparingly. It's an ointment. You put it on, it repels water. And you see it beads up real easy. It beads up real easy. I mean, I know it's an old school thing that we was taught to put Vaseline. We put Noxzema, Vaseline. We put 70 proof alcohol on our skin. It was burning our skin. God bless our parents when back in the day, they did alcohol on everything.
You better
It burns our skin. You know, you can substitute that with witch hazel, with hydroperoxide. Hydroperoxide is very good as a acne spot treatment. Even regular white toothpaste, the fluoride in there acts as a spot treatment for acne.
Hey, Yanni, we have a question asking about aloe vera.
We just
Aloe vera. Aloe vera is very good too. You can do aloe vera. You can actually make a toner with some aloe vera and water, and it's a great toner to balance out your skin. It's really good.
But what kind of aloe vera do you buy? Because like I've seen the gel, and I'm assuming that's not it. Like,
okay, so if you use the gel, okay, because some people do an aloe mask, it has to be 100% aloe vera.
Thank you. Okay.
My mama got an aloe vera plant at the house.
Amazing.
And that sucker burns.
But
you open it up, it burns, but it does good, I guess, but it burns.
So with the first thing is get some olive oil, some other oil that you have in your house, not cooking oil, no cooking oil, not the fish frying, chicken frying oil, but aloe vera, not aloe vera, olive oil. If you have avocado oil, it's very good. It is definitely, it heals chapped skin. Aloe vera oil, it does wonders for dry skin. One other thing that you can do, you can make your own exfoliator. Yes.
Oh, those are so good.
And right now we're trying to get our summer glow. I don't know if Lori gonna let us out for the summer.
I live in the city, so she ain't my mayor.
Sorry for you. No,
She be in the house though.
She regulating for everybody right now. She regulating.
She is.
Pass Austin and see what happens.
If Lori say stay in, I'm staying in. I don't live in Chicago either, but I just stay in. I'm scared.
She the voice.
I agree with you.
She the
I'm staying in.
voice.
So, Yanni, what do you do if you feel like your skin's already been damaged by some products you've been using? How do you recover from that?
Oh my goodness. I was just talking about an olive oil cleanser. One thing that you can make is a combination of, depending on if you have texture on your skin. When I'm saying texture, that means when you rub across it, it may feel a little rough. With you can do castor oil. Castor oil has properties of softening your skin. So it reverses basically what has already been going on. And a lot of times if you mix that with honey, castor oil, and another oil, another carrier oil like an avocado, grapeseed, olive oil, something like that, coconut oil, if you have it, it makes a great combination for softening your skin and actually deep cleansing your skin. Yes, with anything, it takes time. Everybody think, oh, tomorrow my skin gonna be a blazing beautiful sunbeam. No, it's not gonna be like that. With anything, it's you being consistent and you doing the work, and it will happen. So you have to be consistent in any routine that you do. That's why I'm saying right now is a great time just to start a new regimen. And honestly, this really could take only like 10 minutes. Your normal time when you're really washing your face in the morning. So basically grabbing some oil, cleansing your skin. You're gonna say how much oil, right? That's the next question, right? Basically, you're gonna layer on your skin. You're not just gonna be like some blessed oil and somebody put across. You're not gonna do on you rub it in. Okay, we always go up so our skin can stay up. Okay, so we always go up, right?
Muscle memory.
Muscle memory. The next thing you're gonna do is exfoliate. Real easy. Grab you some sugar and you one of them oils. You're gonna have more of a grit in it, not being so soupy. And they having a lot of oil, but you will have more of a little grit in there where you have a nice consistency to it. And you will use that on your skin and you will definitely go in circular motion to remove dead skin. Okay, grab a hot towel and wash after that. So you definitely have, and wait, this is the real good one, a mask, honey, just plain honey if you have it. You could do lemon with honey. You could do yogurt. Some people do these different things. If you have pumpkin puree at the house, you can use that. It's a great enzyme to your skin. Yes, and you go all the way up and you let that sit 10 to 20 minutes on your face. If you have the time, if you want to have an extra spa day and you need your me time, you need to woo-side the house, you got an extra couple of minutes, yeah, you can leave that mask on a little bit longer and just relax. Just relax. Okay.
Like one of them candles that y'all bought all up from Bath and Body Works in the winter.
They gone,
And
girl.
put a sign on the door that say "Do not disturb."
Our candles are gone, and they ain't no sale no more.
You bought 5 crates, they shouldn't be gone.
Hey, we looked up, and the last one was gone, and they ain't no sale no more. Bath and Body Works got to come on with it and bring them 3-wick candles back for $8.50. Come on,
because we been stuck in the house using all the aroma.
Yanni, let me ask you this.
Yes.
So, maybe let's say last year or whatever, you beat my face, okay? And I was looking pretty and it was just all perfect. My head was the same color as my face. And so I decided that I need to keep this beat. So I think I might have slept in that beat and woke up the next morning and I was still like, hey, but is that a good thing? Should we be sleeping in these beats?
Okay.
Well, tell us about this.
That's a no-no. Okay, and I know you
even if you sleep
good money, your $50, $65, $125 on a good beat. I get it. Sometimes I'm guilty because my eyes, I could do an eye, and I'd be like, oh, tomorrow I'm gonna wear skin.
Be washing around like this.
We take foundation off, but I'm gonna keep my eye.
Keep that eye on.
Y'all, we really shouldn't be doing that. As an esthetician, I would discourage you from doing it. But the human side of me say, but no, you're not supposed to. You have to wash your face. That's a
So what's
washing your face twice a day.
What's the long-term effects?
Well, keeping makeup on and sleeping in makeup, basically it keeps your skin clogged up. You will end up getting acne. Acne. That's what you're gonna get. Even when a lot of people, getting back to that oil piece, because I know a lot of people shy away from oil. But one thing I'll tell you like this, when you give your body what it needs, it's not gonna overly produce. So many people think they have oily skin. And oily skin, a person that truly has oily skin, you see their pores visibly. You can see them visibly. They can be sent away and you can see their pores because they'll be open. You will see them. That's a true person that has oily skin. So with that, a lot of people use a lot of acne medications, cleansers and stuff like that on their skin, and they're wondering why they look like a brand new penny. And the reason is because they're stripping their skin constantly of natural oils. And what happens, your body is gonna overly produce more oil. So you're gonna get bumps because it's overly producing it. So if you give it what it needs, having an oil cleanser, go ahead and do it. I'm giving it what it needs. It's not gonna overly produce that. Okay. So right now we got an oil cleanser, we got an exfoliator, we got a mask. A mask could be a lemon honey mask right in your kitchen. You can leave that on regular honey. It's antibacterial. If you got you have white heads, black heads, honey is your best friend.
Really?
Not this?
Oh, okay.
Right.
People need to know how to bust bumps correctly, first of all. It's a way to break the bump.
Come on.
The art of busting the bump. Come on.
Oh my gosh.
It's a correct way to do it.
Come on. School.
So basically when you're doing it, you're moving it like this. Never put your nails in it because your nails is breaking the skin when it does. From the side. You always make sure your skin is warmed up. Use a warm towel.
Wow.
My kids are not gonna like that.
A person, or I'm gonna go to the next thing that you can do as a DIY. You can use steam. Steam is amazing. Steam. I told anybody, humidity is your best friend. It's great for your skin. I know
not for your hair though.
Not
for your hair, but it's amazing for your skin. It opens up your pores, opens them up. It gives you a nice glow. It detoxifies your skin.
Come on, detoxify.
Steam. So if you don't have a steamer, like I have a portable steamer that I have a couple of them that be in the house because I have steam on me at any given moment. But you can use a good old fashioned pot. Get you a towel and
hover over.
What does that do though? Like, so if I do the pot,
it's great for nasal decongestions of all of that. Opens up your skin. It's amazing. Like it's an amazing feeling afterwards, after you even do all these stuff, even at the house. Basically, you can have an effective DIY facial. After you put on a mask. Again, a mask would be that honey or yogurt, or some people put yogurt in oatmeal and they grind their oatmeal up and they put these different things or banana.
Sound like a dessert, Yanni.
I'm hungry.
A dessert.
I love the organicness of what God has already given us. He has given us so many things naturally to take care of ourselves. And if to figure out what those things are, we put so much chemicals on our bodies and our face, and it causes more things to occur. Like I'm a person, yes, I'm a licensed esthetician. Do I do chemical pills? Yes, I do. Do I do green pills that are all natural? Yes, I do. Do I do natural ways to do a pill? Yes, I do. But I prefer more of the natural than doing the chemical on any given day. Okay.
So speaking of like the natural methods, Yanni, like people are really into using like essential oils right now. So how could they use that to like do their facials or any of these DIY projects?
So frankincense is the skin wonder of the world. Frankincense. You can add frankincense to your beauty regimen by just getting a little bit. some people I would encourage too, if you are sensitive to oils, is to have a carrier oil. You can do jojoba oil, you can do your coconut oil, basically to add as a base to put onto your skin, and you can use that as a moisturizer as well. Lemon is good for lightening up the hyperpigmentation, dark spots, aging spots. You can use a lemon. I would suggest to use it at night, not during the daytime while you're finna go directly into the sun, because you light bright like Michael Jackson syndromes and all these other things. Is that the correct word? No, it's not.
They know what you mean.
We get you though.
Really light spot on your skin, because one thing the sun is going to do is activate that lemon. It's going to brighten it up even more. Just like we used to use peroxide to lighten our hair back in the day, that's what lemon does to our skin. Okay.
Now that frankincense is good. I was sharing with the team last night how I had burned my arm on an iron. And normally, you burn your arm, there is a scar. So I put that frankincense on there for maybe a couple of weeks or whatever. And I just started noticing the scar is gone. Yeah. So that frankincense is good. And that was one of the things they brought to Jesus when he was a baby. Frankincense and myrrh. Come on.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Even using lavender is a calming, even to if you have acne, it calms the skin down. Even though some people say, oh my God, lavender smell like older ladies.
It smells so good.
I love lavender.
I'll tell you, like,
season though, daughter. You do smell like a seasoned saint.
No, you don't.
Watch yourself, Sharetta. Watch yourself. Watch yourself, girlfriend. Now, watch yourself.
Listen, walk around
don't talk about the seasoned saints on this call.
So I can use supplement to my purse, is what you're telling me?
We use lavender for everything.
Lavender is amazing. Lavender, it calms the skin down. You can put them in your different spots, and it's an amazing agent to help you sleep better and have deeper sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Yanni, sorry. I was gonna ask you, so what can we do for the darkness around our eyes or puffiness around our eyes?
Go to bed. Usually the dark circles under the eye could be a deficiency with vitamin K. Could also be signals of basically kidney issues and stuff like that when we are completely dark under here. Also, this is a very sensitive area around your eyes. A lot of people, they get up and they just do this, right? So we're breaking blood vessels in our eyes in these delicate areas. So it causes that to be bruised as well. So that you always, like when they put on concealer, they always tell you to use these because this is the
fingers.
Because this is very delicate, but people get they wipe. You know how we had those good cries at church, but we like
I gotta stop crying.
Just don't wipe so hard.
You gotta pat.
So with that, you can caffeine. They have caffeine in eye creams that you can actually purchase to do that. Some things are hereditary. Sometimes it runs through the family and you just can't get rid of it. You can lighten it a little bit, but you just, because it's hereditary. Sometimes some people have this gene where they're just darker under the eyes. Vitamin K deficiencies, sleep. Sometimes when we don't have proper rest, that's another regimen in having good skincare is going to bed and having a great sleep. Because when you don't, at night, your body turns over its cells, skin cells, all type of different things. Just like I was going to call it Pastor Audrey, but Audrey Saunders talked about eating healthy and basically going to bed at different times, and what happens between 10 and 2, you get these extra bonus hours and how your body resets. The same thing with your skin, it resets during those times. So yes, take your makeup off, relax all of this down and go to bed. Relax.
That's your bra too, right?
Your bra.
Right, the bra too. I'm ready to come out mine right now.
Listen,
don't you do it. Don't you do it.
I'm gonna do like Pastor London pretty soon. Get the.
Oh no, you better not.
Don't do that. So And always I'll tell people, because a lot of people are afraid to moisturize their skin. Moisturize your skin, please, please, please moisturize. Also, Black people, wear sunscreen. It's okay. We need it. We
Yes,
need it.
we
The
do.
atmospheres are different now. That's before we wasn't getting really skin cancer, but now we are getting a lot of skin cancers and stuff like that. We need to add sunscreen to our regimen as well. One other thing that I was gonna share during this time. Oh my God. So while you're at home, okay, you
Got
need,
Are
excited.
you moving off of the
He
face?
got excited.
I'm off the face.
Okay, we talked about, before you go off the face, what about this bar soap?
No bar soap, please.
Mm-hmm.
So
No
no to my zest.
bar soap, no zest, ivory, nothing like that.
No ivory.
It is too harsh on your actual face. It's a different pH. It would dry out your skin. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. No bar soap. No bar soap. Please,
Okay,
no bar soap. But
okay,
I
that's good.
also encourage you, like during this time, one thing about us as ladies, our lymphatic system, and as well as men, our lymphatic system really, is on the outer courts of our body. So under our arms, it's important that we exfoliate. It's important that we give sometimes the deodorant a break. Don't fall out on it. Okay. We have to give the deodorant sometimes a break. And during this quarantine time, I would suggest to detox your underarm. Yes, you can use that same body scrub facial and body scrub that I talked about, as far as the sugar with the oil. You can add a little honey to it. You can do that under your arms. You can do that under your arms. You can even make it a little bit more coarser if you want to put it on your feet and your knees and your elbows. You can add a little Epsom salt to that to give a good scrub to your body. However, under your arms, it's important that we
Okay.
remove the deodorant, which is an antiperspirant. Our body is made to perspire, to remove toxins from our body. That's how he created our body. So sometimes when we keep spraying deodorant, we're not exfoliating under there. The deodorant is still in our pores under our arms, which is next to one of our lymph nodes, which is close connected to our breast. Maybe this may have some connections with some different things.
Wow.
Okay. So sometimes it's important to detox under your arm. So while we're quarantined and you're not really going any place, and this is again a time where you at home, you can do self check to see if it's live and in color, But I would suggest, after you wash under your arms and your daily routine, slice a lemon. First of all, let that dry, because if you don't, it's gonna tingle and it's gonna feel some kind of way. But let it dry and get a lemon and you'll rub it under your arms. Right there is a natural deodorant.
What if I don't have an actual lemon?
If you don't have an actual lemon, you can get the little squeezy 100% lemon juice.
I got that.
You can get a cotton ball, squeeze it on there, dot it all the way around. Don't rub it in, but dot it all the way in and let it dry before you put your clothes on. With that, because our body as women, our hormones change around our cycle time, our usually during that time we notice our chemistry change. We need to wash a little bit more. We need to put a little bit more deodorant on. We need to do this a little frequently. It would be the same even with this. But at home, I'll tell you, like I have done this. It helps remove, first of all, under your arm, skin tags, because a lot of that is clogged up. You have these extra help. Natural way to remove skin tags is with lemon. Okay. It also lightens under your arm. You with dark arms underneath there, it's because you keep razoring it. It's because it's causing that after shadow, like men get when they shave. It gets dark. Dark under your arm. So let's lighten that up. Let's tone it. Let's get a little toner under there. It helps do these different things. It's skin.
Can I ask you a question, Yanni?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so Yanni, I don't shave or anything like that, but I do get pimples. What causes bumps?
What causes the bumps under your arm?
Yeah, pimples, like you get on your face.
It's clogged up. You can get pimples anywhere. Pimples can come at anywhere.
Anywhere.
Yes, anywhere that's skin.
It's skin. Pimples can come.
Really?
Yes. The thing I would tell you to do is sometimes you have to check to see if you have an ingrown hair. Sometimes some people get that and it's like you have folliculitis, like men get those razor bumps and stuff like that. Sometimes we get hair that grows and it's curly and it goes and it turns back in. So you need to check to see if it's that. But if you don't, can I ask, so what do? You don't shave. What do you do? Nothing?
Wax.
Okay, wax is good. So sometimes after your wax, you need to make sure that your esthetician tones afterwards. And a good tone would be like a witch hazel. Because once you pull the hair out, I don't want to use the word, when you pull the hair out, basically oil comes up to the top. So it causes it to be a bump. So some people even when they get their eyebrows waxed, sometimes they bump up.
Yes.
Oil up. So they're supposed to use witch hazel or an astringent to combat that. Okay. So with that, I'll tell you after you wax, after a couple of days of your wax, I would tell you to exfoliate under there because hair begins to grow back. So exfoliate so it won't go back in. So that hair is pure out. Okay.
Hey Yanni,
So-
another question we have is about using baking soda under the arms.
Baking soda is cool. You know, baking soda keeps you dry. It's friendly. It doesn't do too much anything with that because it's not clogging basically into that. You can wipe that pretty much off if it catches the perspiration.
And some people were asking for some suggestions on moisturizers. Somebody mentioned Ambi and Shea Moisture, Black Soap. They were think these are some of the suggestions for moisturizers or soaps or different things. What do you think about those?
Let's see, moisturizers. Ambi is an old school moisturizer. It depends on how your skin take it. I always ask people, how do your skin feel afterwards? If your skin is tight, your skin shouldn't feel tight. You know, your skin should feel like it's airy, like it can breathe. So with that, I think that's an own personal assessment on how does your skin feel after you use it. Do it feel moisturized? Do it feel sticky? Do it feel like, you know, it kind of got a little something still to it? Your moisturizer should be able to absorb into your skin. So it needs to have some type of water soluble in some way, meaning that it can absorb into the skin. If it's just laying on the top, it's like a protectant. It's like
Vaseline.
It's like Vaseline. So, I mean, with that, I mean, you have to. I mean, it's on an individual basis on how your skin, you know, goes with that. So black soap, I know a lot of people use black soap on their skin. They say it's a wonder for acne and hyperpigmentation. It's pretty good, but again, every individual is different. So with that, how does your skin respond? Some people tell me it could be tight. Some people tell me it's amazing. It works wonders for their skin, and it can with the black soap because I mean I've tried the black soap just to see what the big hype was about, and I mean it's good, but for me I couldn't continue to use it because it felt like my skin was tight. So for me, it did not work for me, but for someone else, if they skin, I don't know if they know what tight feels like or what their assessment of what it is, but for some people, it may work. I mean, for a moisturizer, you could do a natural moisturizer again with coconut oil. You slather it up, you'll rub it into your hand, warm it up, and you will rub it into your skin. It's a natural, you wouldn't even have to worry about it. Aloe vera, not aloe vera, avocado oil is very good for that. Use very little of that to go into your skin.
Now, what about like bikini waxes and things like that? Is witch hazel still okay to use in that area?
It is good to use down there for bikini waxes as well as Brazilian waxes. Yes, witch hazel is not gonna burn. I would suggest you use sea breeze though, because that will burn.
Ooh, child. Ooh, child.
Fire.
Baby, baby.
That's what's happening. That
A lot of people I know it's very tempting. because you're locked in. I know it's very lean in, lean in. Do not use Veet or Nair down there.
Okay.
You lean back after you told us to lean in. That was your mic drop.
Because it's a chemical. It's a chemical. It's a chemical. You can get a chemical burn. A chemical burn. A chemical burn. If you leave it too long. Word to the wise.
Oh. I've done it, and the devil was at work.
Listen. Listen.
Yeah.
He was working real good.
Like, Yanni, I think I broke something. Can I put tea tree oil? She said, "Fool, you gonna do tea tree oil and tea?"
That's a deadly combination.
I know it's tempting, but
you should. If it smell like perm,
it smells like
it sure does.
It does. It smells like Nair made my underarms raw, completely raw.
Oh,
Nair, ooh.
It does smell like
don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Groom yourself naturally. If you want to trim it down or whatever like that, do it naturally until you can see your esthetician, your wax specialist to do what they need to do. Yes, Kay.
So I did my limit.
Oh my God.
Listen.
So I was telling the ladies last night about doing the limit.
I did it.
Natural thing. So Kay, what happened?
First of all, it's weird. let's just deal with it. It's weird. It's just weird. Because you want to put I don't know, when you guys put on deodorant, do you do this?
Some people do.
What other way do you do it?
No, meaning
That's
like some people in one swipe. I'm not. But like, I just, like I'm painting. So that was, but no, I did it. It was just the back of it. That's what I cut. And I did it. The little parts of it kind of came off a little bit. The hard part was letting it dry.
Yeah.
I'm a little wet now, but I think, remember we did this last night and I was a little wet last night. So, but I don't stink. Wait.
So it works.
Wait, I got on 2 shirts. Wait, you know that bra thing.
One is a bra.
No, so I don't, there's no odor. Like, you know how you smell yourself and you be like, oh Lord. So I don't smell myself. It is a weird feeling though. Because it smells like, it doesn't smell like lemon, if that makes sense.
It smells like your natural skin.
What? That's what I smell like. I'm a fruit, baby.
That's what it smells like. And a lot of people get in a way because they always do the smells of different things. And right there, the thing is, I mean, of course you can put your perfumes and stuff like that on, but the thing is your body is made to release express fire. And when you don't, because you put so much deodorant on every day, twice a day, however many times, and you only washing, you're not really deep cleaning under your arms, basically you're stopping the natural process of the body on which you created it to do. So with that, you're keeping toxins locked in. So sometimes when you're at home on the weekends, whether you choose to do this as a natural thing, I have some clients, they have thrown deodorant out and they have been lemonade. Listen, from then, because
it's cheaper too.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Mic drop.
So how often?
So with that, while you're at home, just try it. You're at home. So if you feel like, especially if your cycle is, a lot of times your temperature is up a little bit higher. So you may have to refresh it a couple of times throughout the day. It depending on how you're
refresh it. What does that mean? Oh, like
wash under your arms and reapply.
So that means if I go out to the park, I gotta carry my Ziploc bag.
But the thing is, you can't, because I used to do it all the time, because I used to carry it with me all the time until I just got to learn how my body operated and how far I can go. When it's wore off, it didn't wore off. Just like your regular it wears off. And you be looking like, oh Lord, I didn't wrestle the gorilla. You know what I mean? So with that, I mean, you have to know your body, and that's getting in tune with yourself. That's self-care. I know how my body operates. I know when I need to do what I need to do. That all goes with self-care.
Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready.
Now, Kay,
I'm gonna keep y'all posted.
Kay, what time did you put it on?
I knew y'all was gonna ask that, and I didn't want to tell y'all. So, I showered at around.
No,
don't do me. Don't come for me, my braless nation. I showered at around 3 o'clock. So it's now 8:30.
Like in the afternoon or in the morning.
Oh,
ain't nobody showering at 3:30 in the morning.
Really, April?
I'm sorry. I was
her day started at 3. All right, there we go.
I didn't say my day started at 3.
I'm just saying.
Listen, I have a Zoom call until.
It's Friday, though.
But trust me,
It
does work. Again, you have to learn your body, know when your expiration is up. Okay.
I think we all know that.
And so with that, I mean, even with anything as a woman, we know during certain times, you have to just be extra with yourself during those hot moments that we have as women. So again, it's a natural thing. If you don't want to do this as a regimen on the weekends while you're at home, you're not doing nothing, detox your underarms. Trust me, it will help. Some people get boils under their arms.
Yes.
Will it lighten it?
It will lighten it. It will also help to release the pressure with a hot towel and all this other stuff. It's just natural things that God has given us. All I can tell you, I mean, the thing that made me love about skin is just learning how God has created us to heal ourselves.
That's true.
Or to heal ourselves. So, yeah, that's what I have.
One of your clients said that she pours fresh squeezed lemon juice in a mini travel container and she packs her cotton rounds.
That's right.
There you go, baby.
Right.
Come on, client.
And it works.
Serena, you had something?
I have a question from our watch party. It's not related to skincare, but Miss Karen saying her hair is essential. And I need to see my hairstylist. So what can people do during this time if they can't get in to see their stylist? And since you are a stylist, Yanni, maybe you can help us out with this question.
Oh, well, it depends on their hair. Like I know she's starting locks. So with that, I mean, it's very easy during this time you can be creative and wearing head wraps. You can be creative and just pushing them back, put a nice headband on. Let them do what they do because they're locked. So they're going to grow naturally as well. Enjoy the process. I mean, you can do some things by twisting the roots if you want to. Also, make sure your hair is moist when you're turning that because you want to turn on dry hair because it will break. So with that, just keeping your hair moisturized, you can get, again, some good spring water, get some vegetable glycerin, get some castor oil, a little bit in there. You can put frankincense or a wild orange essential oil in there and create your own mist.
And lemongrass.
Lemongrass is good as well. To make your own hair mist, make sure that your roots are still moisturized during this time.
Help the people, because I'm around here looking like I'm from Cadillac Records.
I mean, Cadillac.
Come on, I thought we was singing.
Need somebody that like a barber. Just drop back.
I really love my new cut because I just take it and zoom and zoom and zoom, and I have 3 barbers at home. So yeah,
I'm about to join you. Listen,
they didn't shave me today. That's why I got my hat on.
You're a good girlfriend, Sharetta. Shake it out.
Everybody all right?
You can't get that.
Everybody all right?
I was looking for my good girlfriend. I think I threw her away.
No.
I think I threw her away. But listen, ladies, we've been on here for about an hour and a half now. Just type into the Facebook, type into our website, our mobile app, if you have enjoyed yourself this evening as we talked about everything from the rooter to the tutor almost.
Yeah.
So
No, it was.
I saw some men coming on here, so I didn't want to kind of explain what we did with this and stuff, but you know. But listen, Kay, give us a little bit of information on you and how people can find you, because you are a life coach. And then Yanni, I want you to do the same thing. Give us some information on you, you know, stylist, esthetician. How can people find you if they maybe want more questions and maybe want your help in a deeper way? Just give us some information on that.
You can follow me on Instagram. That's probably the best place, at k.monell. And you can there's a link in my bio so that you can do a complimentary call if you're ready to coach. One of the things that I ask people all the time, as far as women moving forward in their lives, I ask, what would you do if you knew you would not fail? Because usually our reasons for not doing stuff is because we think we will fail. So you can contact me at IG. You can also contact me on Facebook. My Facebook business page is K Monell Platform, and you can find me there. Yeah, that's me. And pretty much everywhere I'm K Monell or KMP. K Monell Platform, baby.
Okay. And Yanni?
Yes, you can follow me at Blossom Bell Studio on Instagram as well as Facebook. I always say this: you are what you eat. Your skin is what you eat. So don't be fake, don't be cheap, don't be quick.
Oh God, say that again. Say that one again.
You are what you eat. Your skin represents you. So don't be fake, don't be easy, and don't be cheap.
Oh God. Okay, that makes me rethink some of the stuff I'm eating. Okay. Well, ladies, this has been an awesome time that we have had sharing with you. You got something, Ebony?
I do. Before we go, there was a suggestion that was given to me. I'm going back to Kay and the high schoolers or any of the students that are graduating. This suggestion, and it was so amazing for me. Dexter's a senior, his principal sent us a message, telling us the school was closing, and he gave us a suggestion that we could do for the next 50 days before graduation. Every day, take a note and write something special to them, reminding them they're amazing or telling them qualities that you love about them. And anybody can actually be doing this during this time. Just and put it on their door every day before, so when they come out, they can see it, and they can have these notes every day, just something special about them, telling them how awesome they are, making this a special time. And then when those 50 days are over, take them and actually put them in a book and keep all of those notes together so they can have memories of special words that you have shared with them during this time. So it's not all is love. Yes, we feel some kind of way. I feel some kind of way as a mom wanting to share that moment with my son, but also being able to pour into him and for him to have these notes and memories to look back on this time. Words of encouragement is a great thing that we can have for them.
And you can also do that for yourself. You can put
absolutely
on every morning, I am beautiful, I'm simply and wonderfully made. You can put these different affirmations on your mirror every day. So when you walk into having your quiet time, you can see these different things and you can rehearse them in your mind. Versus you feel better, you do better, you go about your day better. It's just amazing.
And it's like when you have your memory bar, when you're typing in things as you're typing in the computer, you have so many things that are listed there. But if you do negative things, then your negative history shows up. But if you start to replace those negatives with positive history, then your history becomes positive.
And now you're focusing on a positive narrative of yourself and rewriting any negativity that you've allowed to ponder in your mind. So you're canceling out that negative self-talk by doing that.
Come on.
Create a new vision, create a new story.
Yeah, you are not your yesterday, you are your today.
Ooh.
Come on.
That's one of our pillars
was
at
good.
Winning Women. We don't let our past define us, but we let our past mistakes become our future experiences. It doesn't hold us back as Winning Women. So even during this quarantine time, there are things that you can do to take care of yourself. There are things that you can do to take care of yourself mentally, physically, all of that. Because as we said at the start of this, if you are no good, then you are no good to anybody else. So that's what we want to do with these Facebook Live Fridays. It's just take some time out to have some girl chat, just to talk about things that girls like to talk about. And so tonight, these were three things, because the bra was a big thing. These are things that girls like to talk about. So next week on the 24th, we'll be back here again, same time, same place. And we're going to be cooking with Zeta. So she's going to give us some tips and things that we can do with staple things that we have in our homes to cook. And I'm going to even ask her for some different things, because I find myself cooking the same things and it's just getting boring. So I need some to spice my cooking life up. So we can talk to her about that next week. And also we're going to talk about budgeting with Therese. I know many of us have gotten this stimulus check, and because we can't go out to the mall, I hope you haven't spent it already on Amazon or on, online or whatever, but she's going to, help us and talk with us about budgeting. How can we budget, even if you haven't started a budget? What can I do now, even during this time, to start a budget, to do something with my money, to give my money a mission? So that's what we're going to be doing next week. And then the week after that, on the 1st, we're going to be organizing our closet with our very own Sharetta. We're going to be doing a DIY with Shani Mar. So we're going to have an awesome time. And if we need to create some other events after this, because I don't know what we're doing with this whole quarantine. I think the schools are closed. So I don't know if, the governor's going to come back and say, hey, we close to June 1st. I don't know what's going to happen. But we are here for you as Winning Women. So we're bringing these events to you. So we have some other stuff planned for you. And so we want you to just make sure you following us on Facebook, follow, the team, and you'll get everything that you need for Winning Women, because we are women who win, and we win in every area of our lives. Yes. So I'm happy that you all joined us on all of our social media platforms. So we don't want to keep you any longer. You get back to, what you were doing, but we did want to make sure that we took some time out to focus on you as a woman, on you as winning as a woman. So we pray that you were blessed tonight, and that you will take these nuggets that you have learned, and that not just hearing it, but that you will grow from it. And I know Sharetta ain't put this fur on.
Yeah.
Like, what's that?
Like, are we gonna ignore that?
I was wondering when it was gonna come out.
I was like, no, she didn't.
She done got the fur out. Lord have mercy. Look at her. Listen, she quarantined with this here fur. This fur has gotten some good play during this quarantine. You hear me? You hear me? And ladies, huh?
It makes me happy.
See, it makes her happy. That's her happy.
What makes you happy?
If it makes you happy, please, that's your happy place. Wear your fur, girl. And it's not illegal. Right. So listen, ladies, as we always do, we want to give you an opportunity to give. So if you have enjoyed anything that you have received on tonight, just that we have multiple ways to give at Lifeline Church, and that giving will go towards future Winning Women events. So there is a line item online for Winning Women Ministry. So you can, or Women's Ministry, you can, put something towards that if you were blessed tonight. And I know you were blessed, because I was blessed, and I've heard this stuff, many times, but we hear this stuff, but do we do it? Right. So that's why I want to stress, make sure you take what you've learned and you've heard, and do something, even if it's just doing the lemon under the arms. Just do something. So does anybody have anything else that they want to share before we close out tonight?
Okay, that's it.
That's it. Well, ladies, I want you to be blessed and look forward to our next event on Friday next week, where we'll be cooking with Zeta and we'll be budgeting with Therese. All right. So, ladies, have a good evening. If you haven't fed your children, fed your people, I don't know if y'all saw Jaden. He was coming in here. Mom, can I have a grilled cheese? Your daddy is downstairs. He can make you a grilled cheese. Really, what's going on? See, I had to learn how to take care of myself on this 2-hour call. So now I can go and take care of them. So you do the same, ladies. Have a blessed evening. Have a good evening. Have some sweet sleep. And take these nuggets and win in every area of your life. We love you. Bye.
Love you, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.